He was also able to determine how far away the bullets were fired.
The distance between the head to the gun was no more than 3 inches away.
But that's where Noguchi's facts end, and at least one controversy begins. Because even though Noguchi says the gun was
no more than 3 inches away,
many eyewitnesses say Sirhan was always several feet away from the senator.
That does not necessarily prove anything to me. The fact that some witnesses say the gun was further away than Noguchi says it was.
Robert Houghton was LA's chief of detectives in 1968. Tom Redden was police chief. After Kennedy was shot, the police department organized dozens of top detectives to find out what really happened that night at the Ambassador. The group was called Special Unit Senator.
The investigation actually went on for some 18 months following the time of the actual assassination.
Every possible angle that we could conceive of or heard about, we continue to investigate. What was it's patently obvious that Sirhan was caught with the proverbial smoking gun in his hand. The ballistics and forensics that were done on the weapon and on the bullet wounds showed that the weapon was fired from very close range.
The physical evidence, coupled with the thousands of interviews.
We had eyewitnesses who saw this whole thing right there next to Kennedy. Sirhan himself never denied it. He never admitted it either, for that matter, until I understand in the last year or so he has admitted that he was alone and that he did do it.
Dozens, perhaps scores of reenactments of everybody that was standing at each given location at the time that it took place.
All of this leads to the only conclusion we could come to is that Sirhan was operating and committed this crime by himself.
Case closed, at least for a while.
There are serious questions.
Paul Schrade is one of many skeptics who criticize police for not doing enough to unravel the Kennedy murder mystery. Schrade has a personal interest. He was one of those wounded by a stray bullet that night in the kitchen pantry. Schrade was a labor leader, a campaign worker, and a personal friend of Senator Kennedy.
I often think back on how he affected my life, what a horrible period we went through when he was killed, how it had been very difficult to adjust to that, even after 20 years.
Schrade is also angry with the Los Angeles Police Department for withholding evidence that he says might determine whether Sirhan's 8 bullets were the only ones fired. All along, Dwayne Wolfer of the LA Police Department has maintained that Sirhan's gun was the only weapon. But Schrade wasn't convinced. In 1975, he got a judge to appoint 7 firearms experts to look at the ballistics evidence again. Lowell Bradford was one of the experts. He found no matches or microscopic identifications between the test bullets and the actual bullets fired at Kennedy.
Then why didn't the gun, if it was Sirhan's gun that was test fired in the LAPD lab, why didn't that leave the same kind of marks? So it leaves me with the feeling that perhaps that gun was not the one that was used to test fire the bullets.
Dwayne Wolfer told us he was tired of defending himself again. He had no comment. But other comments about other controversies continue. The question of security. Why were there no police at the Ambassador Hotel? It depends on who you ask and who you believe. LA Mayor Sam Yorty or Kennedy Press Secretary Pierre Salinger.
When he came to Los Angeles, he wouldn't let us give him any police protection.
That is wrong. We asked for it and were refused protection at